I'm going to tell you one statement that is ruining your life, that's ruining your business and ruining your future, and then I'm going to tell you how to stop it, and I'm going to tell you what it means. So let's get started. There is one statement that has hurt your business, how much money you can make, your revenue potential, and it's called, well, let's sit down and let's actually have a cup of coffee and let's talk about this. It's story time, and let's talk about how one statement is going to damage your potential for making a lot of money, having a full-time photography business, or just being happy in what you do and who you are. It's starving artist or it's struggling artist, and you've probably heard a variation of this, and it's really widely believed that you have to be one or the other. And this statement has been going on for generation after generation after generation. First time somebody said, oh, they gave me a variation of this. It was my friend, I went to high school with him, and he's really nice and we're still friends, but he's like, Walid, congratulations on all of your success, but you shoot so many record covers and things like that. Have you ever thought about doing anything artistic? And what I heard in my head was, you're not an artist and you're kind of selling out and you're just focusing on the commercial things, on the celebrities. It stayed with me, and I remember being very defensive about it, but I didn't fight back then. I was just defensive in my posture, and I was defensive in how I thought, and I was defensive in how I moved forward. Like how I entered spaces was based on that, right? And what he pretty much said to me was, you're not an artist because you're doing these commercial jobs, and that means you're not good enough. You're not good enough to be an artist. And I got like sort of a soft version of it, but you probably have gotten, oh, you got to be a starving artist, you got to be a struggling artist, this is what you've got to do. That's really, really damaging. And I want to go through this video. I hope that you give it a few minutes of your day to check it out, because I'm asking you for help on how to reverse this and what you can do and how you can make sure that you're not a victim of anything as ridiculous as this, right? I don't know where the statement started, but I do know that it's divisive, and I do know that it's often said by the people who are going to hire us. Not so much by our peers, we just sort of repeat it, but it's said to us by people who need our services. Now that right there is the very, very first clue. That tells you, wait a minute, why would they want you to feel less about yourself? Why would they want you to divide, from your peers and go, okay, so you guys are the artists over there and you guys are the commercial sellouts, but you can't have both. And that's really what they're saying. You cannot have both. This statement normalizes the struggle that you might have as an artist, right? So if you are struggling right now to book clients, then you're an artist. And this is where you should be. It normalizes that. It normalizes the struggle that you've had. It doesn't have to be a struggle. That's really what I teach in this channel, that you can make a good amount of money and you can have a full-time living and you can be happy and you can love what you do, and you don't have to wait for happy hour at bars to drink because all the other hours are unhappy. You don't have to do any of that stuff if you don't want to. Literally, the war can be over if you want it to be. It normalizes that, and it also normalizes taking advantage of artists. So if I'm helping you starve, if I'm not paying you, if I am pushing the notion that you should be starving for you to really feel like an artist, that damages you, and that encourages me, that statement. So we want to put an end to it. And if you make money, you're no good. You have no value in the art world. You have no value in the gallery world and the respectability world. You don't, because you're a sellout, because you've done catalogs, because you've done weddings. Oh, you're a wedding photographer? You're not an artist. Oh, you do headshots? You're not an artist. Oh, you did a record cover? You're not an artist either. Don't you dare think you're an artist. And that's pretty damaging, right? By the way, if you guys wondering why I'm looking down, I'm keeping notes now, and I'm keeping a Notion, and I'm really happy with Notion. But I'm gonna do a Notion video on how much it helped me and help me communicate with people too. If you strive for something better, if you maybe want to put your images on a shirt and you want to sell it, if you want to see your images in a magazine or a billboard somewhere, then you're a sellout, and that's no good. And that really divides our culture of creators, of photographers and different artists, because that's what we are. We are artists, and this is how we're going to move forward, right? And it's also normalizing the fact that if you are doing well, if you have a nice car, you have a nice home, you can afford a nice restaurant, you can afford nice clothes, then you're not an artist. You see what I'm saying? Like, the whole thing is a setup. You're gonna lose this way or you're gonna lose this way. There is no way that you're going to win. This statement is set up for you to fail. It's not gonna be that way anymore. It's going to be about recalibrating, and it's gonna be about recalibrating how you think and realizing that you can make money and you can have success and you can still be a very successful and prominent artist. I know many who have done it. I think I've had chapters in my career where I've sort of done both, and then you go to one again and you're like, okay, this one is not for the money, it's just for the art, and this one is just for the money. You can have all of it. You can have a nice car. You can have anything you want, because nobody tells any of these businesses around me, nobody tells any of the people walking around me that you cannot have both. But they tell us that. And you got to understand where that comes from. That starts from the people who are there to take advantage of us. They need your pictures, they need your work, they need your videos. So the best way to get a lower rate is to bring you down. It's this whole thing. Nobody really sat there and had a meeting and said, let's destroy artists, but it just happened. It was layer after layer after layer after layer over the years. And people kept perpetuating this myth that that's how it had to be. And then I hear other artists saying this, and I hear people going, oh yeah, but you're not really an artist, or because I'm just doing it for the art. What are you talking about? Why can't you be able to have nice things and create art? Ask people to stop saying that. Actually, stop them mid-sentence, and you can actually say, hey, I really want to hear what you have to say. But I just want to let you know that what you said is damaging to me, my future, and my peers. You have to say my peers because you have to stand up for other people that you're never ever going to meet. So I'm making this video so I can stand up for you, and I hope that you stand up for me and for other people. So it's really easy. Hey, I would love to hear what you have to say. I just want to put something before I forget. That term starving artist, that term struggling artist, it's a narrative that has damaged so many of my peers over multiple generations. I just wanted to point that out to you because somebody pointed it out to me. So you're not correcting them like a teacher, you're just saying somebody pointed it out to me, and I want to point it out to you. You don't have to hyphenate me. I'm not a sellout artist. Sellout hyphen artist. Struggling hyphen artist. Starving hyphen artist. That's not going to be my narrative, and that's not going to be your narrative, and that's not going to be the narrative of any of our friends, our peers, anybody like that. But the change is going to happen with you making that change, with you asking for that change, with you requesting to be treated differently. And you know what? Bank on people realizing, just like maybe you realized this moment, oh shoot, I didn't know how damaging that statement was. You know, we drop certain things that we said about races over generations, like that's not nice to say. We drop certain words that are no longer acceptable. This is one of those, and I want you to fight for yourself. And words matter, and words lead to actions, and I want the words to be encouraging so that your actions are amazing and your accomplishments are incredible, and you deserve that. So here's the thing, you can either repeat this lie and continue damaging more artists, or you could put a stop to it right now, and you can change your narrative and you can recalibrate. Because here's what we do as artists. We took care of everybody during the pandemic. I mean, they relied on the arts and Netflix and music and books to keep their mental health up, right? We launch businesses and records, and we make music videos, and we create commercials that sell $1 billion in products. We launch clothing brands and restaurants, and we relaunch people's personal lives with dating profile pictures, and relaunch their careers with LinkedIn portraits. We do all of that. Artists actually even make the darkest and ugliest alley have texture and personality and culture. And you can see that with the beautiful graffiti in different city walls. We are the ones that help design these buildings and the graphics and the music that you might even hear in the background. So what we do is incredibly valuable. Like, we as artists, we are the brand shapers, we're the brand makers. We are that brand that the brands look out for. We are the brand that the brands reach out for. That's what you do. So you are absolutely an artist, and you should be paid a very fair living wage. You should be both. You should have success, and you should protect your peers, even if they're not holding a camera and they're holding a makeup brush or a paintbrush, or they're just dancing, or whatever they might be doing. All right, so let's stick together and let's do that. But the narrative is going to be whatever you make of it. You can do it firmly and politely and change their narrative. Every time you do it to somebody, they're going to do it for somebody else. And that's what's going to help all of us elevate together. If you want to learn a lot more about photography, how to make money with your photography business and your video business, how to charge, how to do all that stuff, this is a channel for you. Just click subscribe, and I've got a free photography survival guide for you, by the way. And you can sign up for that. The link is in the description. Put it in there and I got you. Okay? So stop saying starving artist.